Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. This is our preview for the Leicester City Boxing Day game. Today is Christmas Day, and I'm wishing everybody, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, whether you actually celebrate Christmas or not, have a great day. But let's get on. We're doing this one with Jamie from First for LCFC, and want to say a massive thank you for Jamie for sending through the videos late last night. So anyway, on with my first question to Jamie, and that was, what are your thoughts on Claude Puel, and should he go, should he stay? And this is what Jamie had to say.
I was very much in favour of Claude Puel keeping his job and being given a full transfer window, full pre-season to show what he can do. It was clear that we were trying to transition from a side that was solely reliant on counter-attacking football to one that could be a bit more patient and keep possession and try and use it that way. However, it's been such a mixed bag this season. I think some of the results have been poor, but it's the performances in these results that have just been abject. A lot of the fans haven't really taken to the more patient style of football, which at the minute they're not quite clicking with it. So there's a lot of time with the ball going backwards, which obviously fans don't like to see. But having said that, I think when it clicks and when we do get it right, we're brilliant, and we've shown it in flashes this season. And there's been a couple of good results as well, especially last week, Chelsea away. I thought we were absolutely brilliant. So that will definitely work in his favour. I would like to see him given more time. I think we're a couple of players short of having the squad that he needs to play the system, in particular a creative centre midfielder and a striker. But I'd like to see him given a little bit more time. As long as we're at 10th or above, I think we've got to be realistic and say that's probably an alright season for us. If we do start to trouble the relegation places, then his job may well be in jeopardy. But for now, especially with everything that's gone on this season, he managed the whole tragedy absolutely brilliantly, and I think he's got to take a lot of credit for that. So in my mind, very much in favour of him keeping his job.
Okay, Jamie sent me some questions, and start with the first one, and that was, Liverpool are looking brilliant at the minute. How worried are you, and who are you backing to finish top in the Premier League? Yeah, they've started really well. Look a lot more solid this season, certainly, than they did last. Defensively very sound. I think they've only conceded 7 goals where we've conceded 13. Now, looking at the overall stats for last season when we won the league with 100 points, we only conceded 27 goals, but we're almost at the halfway point and with 13 goals conceded. So defensively, are we that bad? Or, you know, has it been the games of late? But yeah, they look very strong. The only thing I would say is, yes, they've got Gomez out and I think Matip. We've pretty much from the start of the season, after a few games, we lost Benjamin Mendy. Well, we lost our natural attacking sort of left-back who was exceptional before his injury. We've also had no Kevin De Bruyne. He's only just returned to 17 games in to the season, 18 games in. Now, Kevin De Bruyne is world-class, absolutely world-class. We've missed David Silva for the last 3 weeks. He's not going to be back until probably next week, the Liverpool game. We'll see, maybe he might get some time at the Southampton game. And we've been missing Sergio Aguero as well. So 4 absolutely, top-class players. Liverpool have not really missed any of their major players. So we'll see how the busy schedule over the Christmas and New Year and then into the Champions League. We'll see whether if Salah, Firmino, Mane, etc. can go through the whole season without, at some point, Liverpool missing them for 3, 4, 5 weeks, because it does make a massive difference. But we're only 4 points behind. So we've come back from, way further than that. I think 3 games to go, 3 games in and 9 points behind Chelsea and Liverpool, and we came back and won the league. We've done it in the season when we beat United to the title. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't write anything off yet. I mean, we're only sort of nearly halfway through the season. So am I worried about it? Yeah, of course. I mean, it's Christmas time and we're 4 points behind Liverpool. And they're not playing sparkling football, but they're pragmatic. They're getting good results when it's needed. So Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've been anywhere near our sparkling best at all this season. I think we've had the odd games where we've had sort of like 40, 50, 60 minutes of domination, but I don't think we've hit the heights of anywhere near last season from a footballing perspective. And like I said, defensively, you know, we're nearly halfway through. We've conceded 13 goals. We only conceded 27 last season. So if we were to repeat that, you know, defensively, are we going to be, you know, on a par to where we were last season? I think the only difference this time is that we're not blowing teams away like we did last season. So I think when everyone's back and the squad is fully fit again, and we'll have Mendy back at some point in maybe February, ready for the Champions League as well, I think it'll be a different story. And I can't see Liverpool going all season unbeaten. Absolutely not. I don't think any team will do that in this day and age anymore. It's too close, too tight. We saw what happened with Palace and us. So 4 points is absolutely nothing at the halfway point, and I think we've got a much better in-depth squad that are all going to at least have had a rest, and where Liverpool players are still sort of not having that rotation. So yeah, worried? Yeah, of course, got to be. Would like to be. If it rolls reverse, I'd rather be 4 points ahead with all our big players coming back, but it's not. So we'll see where that takes us. My second question to Jamie was, how do you think Mahrez has settled in at Manchester City?
When the move for Mahrez went through, I think there was a lot of people that, especially in the media or from other clubs, that were negative about the move, saying that City had paid too much money, or that he wouldn't be able to perform at the level required, especially the connotation being that if he played for Leicester, then he couldn't really be that good. And I was always a massive defence of Mahrez, having seen him week in, week out, knowing exactly what he can do. And so to that end, I'm really pleased to see that he seems to have settled in pretty well. He's got a few goals and a few assists to his name, both in the league and in the Champions League. So he's shown his quality on the European stage as well. So it's with players like Mahrez and with players like Kante, I'm always quite glad to see them go on to achieve what they have. I mean, it's clear that they are capable of playing at a level above where Leicester are at the minute. So I don't begrudge them success, although I was pleased that Mahrez didn't manage to score against us in the week, because that would have been that little bit too painful to bear.
The next question was, the Palace result was a huge shock. Is this simply a blip, or were there causes for concern? I said in the review, really wasn't sure about about Stones being in midfield. And if we looked at the midfield with Stones, Gundogan in there as well, there was very little sort of movement and pace. Quick passing. I think Gundogan can play that defensive role, but we did really miss Fernandinho. He's so critical to the way that we play. So basically, my big concern was Kyle Walker's defending, and I think City fans have been saying it for a couple of weeks. He looks knackered. He looks like he needs a rest, and I think he had a week, possibly 2 weeks rest after the World Cup, and then came straight back to City. So. Yeah, I mean, that's 18 months without a real proper break. So it looks like, not maybe so much physically, but mentally, he's making stupid mistakes. And, you know, their first goal, showing him onto that left foot, and, you know, no challenge, nothing, allowing him from that distance to take a shot. Second goal, absolute worldie from Townsend, nothing could do about that. But then again, goes and switches off and goes and dives in and makes that stupid tackle, which gave away a penalty. Suddenly we're 3-1 down. But yeah, I mean, I think we lacked a bit of creativity in there. Missing that David Silva, that Kevin De Bruyne, we were definitely more at it when Kevin De Bruyne came on. But I'm more concerned about the overall fact that we're missing so many players, and yeah, it's frustrating. But at the end of the day, we'll get them all back, and we'll be a completely different team. Do we possibly need somebody in January? I don't know. Pep said no, but I think if somebody came on the market somebody seriously world class, or potential world class, with the likes of Frankie de Jong. If for whatever reason de Jong decided he wanted to move in January and Ajax would allow it, which I don't think they would, then I think we should make the move for it. But yeah, I'm just glad to get all the major players back at Manchester City. So blip, yeah, 2 games, we lost 2 in 3, so that's not great. But I think there were excuses for certainly the defeat on Saturday against Palace. My third question to Jamie was about the midweek penalty shootout last week, and what was his overall thoughts on that game?
Well, I mean, what can you say about those penalties other than that they were bloody poor? I thought that the manner in which the game was decided was a real shame, because the game itself was a very good game. Maybe not for a neutral, but as a Leicester fan, I really enjoyed it. I thought both teams had their chances. The Man City side was full of quality despite a fair few changes being made, and we didn't enjoy a lot of the possession as you'd expect, but both sides created a few chances. There were 2 very good goals. There was a good atmosphere. The Man City fans made a lot of noise, so credit to them as well. So when it came to the penalties, you hoped that it would sort of echo the quality that had been shown in the first 90 minutes, but unfortunately they were nowhere near. I think when Sterling missed his, pretty laughably, literally laughably as far as Danny Ward was concerned, you felt that we had a really good chance and the momentum was with us if we'd have stuck it away. But what followed, it just seemed to go from bad to worse, and we would have been potentially a game from Wembley. And it's a real disappointment that we went out with such a whimper with those terrible penalties.
Fourth question. Third. What have you made of Mahrez since his move? Many have made out that he would be a bit part player, but that doesn't seem the case. I think he has been a bit of a bit part player in and out of games and in and out of the squad and back on the bench. And he's just had a run of 4 games prior to Saturday where he started. He started the season so-so. It's going to take time to get used to Pep's tactics. And then he had that little sort of golden spell for a few games where he scored a couple of goals and got an assist, and then went sort of drifting back onto the bench, and now he's been back in for the last 4 games. And he hasn't been brilliant, I must admit. He's been played out in this wide right role as hugging the touchline, which I don't think suits his style of play, because I don't think he's particularly that quick. Not a Raheem Sterling or Sane type of pace, and he doesn't really beat players, which often just makes life simpler, where defenders just show him inside and he plays it backwards, or if he does beat a player, he'll hit in a cross, and sometimes the crosses are wonderful, sometimes the crosses are awful. Looking at I think he's got 5 Premier League goals, 2 assists in 17 appearances. Not all of them are starting. So, not bad return. But when you look at, I think, Raheem Sterling's 15 appearances, albeit he's probably started more games, 9 goals, 6 assists, and he's playing in that's the type of role that Mahrez is vying for. So when you look at Sterling's stats compared to Mahrez's, you struggle at the moment to select Mahrez over Sterling when everyone's fit, unless a rest is needed, like Sterling needs a rest and Mahrez can come in. I would like to see him play a little bit more inside, maybe the Bernardo Silva role or something like that, and have an opportunity in there where his trickery, he can be more involved, because I looked at his statistics last week, I think it was. In the Premier League, he's had 50 crosses, but only 18%, success rate. That's the problem, is that he does put in some absolutely brilliant balls, but the far and few between. A lot of them hit the first player. It's like sometimes he needs to affect the game more, and it is his first season, and I said at the beginning, we're all excited that he came to Man City, and he will offer something definitely in the future. I just think, he's got to grab the opportunities when he gets them, because I can't see him starting ahead of Sterling. I can't see him starting ahead of Sane. So he's got to grab these chances and really affect the game more, especially considering, the age of Sterling and the age of where Mahrez is. He's going to be 28 soon, and he needs to be a big game player, but he's not. He seems to be gone from a big player in a, don't get me wrong, your team is like a big fish, small pond, compared to where now he's surrounded by world-class players and he's really under pressure for his place, where maybe he wasn't so much so at Leicester. So here's hoping, and he'll get plenty of games because Pep's going to have to rotate with being in 4 competitions. So so start, and I think it'll only get better for him if I'm honest. My 4th question was, who should City be careful of and wary of in the Boxing Day fixture tomorrow against Leicester, considering that Leicester rested a number of players for the Carabao Cup game?
I think it's probably fair to say that Man City have got more danger players than Leicester City, but I think that you probably need to be most aware of James Maddison looked back to his best against Chelsea. With limited ball and playing off the wing, he's still a danger. I think the weight on the pass and the timing on the pass for the goal from Vardy was absolutely spot on, and he seems to be that man that can pop up with that little bit of quality, because the chances that we're going to get are going to be few and far between, you'd have guessed. So it makes all the difference having a player that you can rely on, and he's a danger from set pieces as well, and we have got some big old lads in the team, and we do tend to do all right from there. The other one is obviously Jamie Vardy. There's been a lot of talk about him and the style of play and potential falling outs with the manager and all sorts. So he's got a bit of a point to prove, I think, and you could see that in his reaction to his goal against Chelsea. He looked sharp, he looked quick. Maybe not going to see as much of the ball as he'd probably want to, but you need to be able to rely on your main man to take the chances when they're given. So those are the 2 players I would be most wary of. But the other player that's been standing out this season has been Ben Chilwell, who I know Man City are linked with, and I can see why with the season he's having. He's confident on the ball, very quick, and he's a completely different player to what he was last year. His development has been astonishing. So those are the 3 that I would say to keep an eye on.
What do you make of Leicester City Football Club's season so far? In and out, really. You can, like you did again, go and beat Chelsea 1-0 and then go and get beat 3-1 by a lower table team, and in and out, and I think you're gonna struggle to get him anywhere near the top 10 if I'm honest this season. But you're one of those teams that on the day, if everything clicks, very, very dangerous team. So it is hoping after everything that you guys have gone through this season. With the loss of your owner, which was a very sad day, then I can only wish you well, and good luck for tomorrow. And finally, what's your score prediction, Jamie?
To be honest, predicting Leicester is one of the more difficult jobs out there. Any side in particular can turn up. You never really know what sort of performance you're going to get. We seem to do better in the games where we're expected not to. You only got to look last week. You go into that on a pretty poor run of form, reports of the manager being in trouble, and all of a sudden we pull a 1-0 win away at Chelsea out of the bag. So you never really know. But having said that, I will put my neck on the line. It's a real toss-up between heart and head, but it is Christmas. Let's hope for a Christmas miracle, and let's go a 2-1 win to Leicester. But in reality, let's be honest, it's more likely to be the other way around.
And finally, my score prediction for tomorrow. Depends who plays. If we play that team, that starting 11 that we did against Palace, you're in with a shout. I'll be honest with you, because it's slow. You saw how they countered very quickly, and if Walker isn't rested, then I think you've got a chance of targeting Delph or Zinchenko on one side and potentially Walker on the other. But I can't see it tomorrow. I've got a feeling Danilo will be back. And Kyle Walker will be rested for certain. And I think Kevin De Bruyne will be back as a starter. And Bernardo Silva didn't have a great game against Palace. So hopefully he'll have a much better game tomorrow with Fernandinho back in the holding role. So prediction, I think it'll be a tight game. I'm going to go 2-1 Man City. But anyway, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to Jamie. Best wishes today with you and your family, and thanks for doing that over the Christmas period. But this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. As I said, I'm wishing you all a Merry Christmas. And don't forget, subscribe, click notification. We'll be around with videos tomorrow. This is Christmas Day, and we're bringing you videos every day for the fans, as we say. So anyway, Have a great day, guys, wherever you are. See you soon.